Hitting your toe against the edge of the table is often described as excruciating pain. Sometimes, what seems like a minor paper cut feels even worse. These are painful experiences that taught us that things that hurt ourselves physically should be avoided at all costs. And that is why we fear death. It seems to be depicted in movies that people who passed on must have experienced some sort of pain as they took their last breath. But no one has a definitive answer as to what death feels like, unless the dead has come back to life to share their stories. But the closest feeling of death can be learned from those who have experienced near-death encounters. Such recounts are in fact aplenty. A man who had been stabbed several times actually related the feeling of it being painless. It was not until he saw thick, red blood oozing out of his wound that he realized that he could have lost his life. This just makes us wonder the truth behind movies that show the looks of unbearable pain of a man stabbed deeply to his death. So, which holds greater truth? Does death feel more like pain or actually painless? Let's take a look at the scientific studies. We feel pain because sensory receptors around our body send a message through our nervous system to our brain for us to associate the wound to pain. And this signal plays a very important role to our own survival, as it alarms us of the things that are causing us to die, immediately prompting a response for us to save ourselves. However, in the case where the man was stabbed very deeply several times, the blade has perhaps cut most of the nerve fibers that transmit these important signals to the brains. As such, there will not be any pain perceived, and one dies shortly after. The throbbing pain is sometimes felt when the person sees his fresh wound and feels a sudden panic that his death is approaching. That activates the brain to associate the wound with pain. But you may wonder, how does death feel like for other forms of life ending? Interestingly, you may realize that there are in fact many theories that support that those who die from falling from a very high floor actually experience a painless death, as nerve fibers are not fast enough to transmit pain signals to the brain before the person is pronounced brain dead from the high impact. Even for pets who have undergone euthanasia to end their lives, they may actually feel painless, even if they seem to be painfully gasping for their last breath, because this perceived pain is only part of the medical effects of euthanasia that causes muscle spasm before the whole body shuts off to eternal sleep. There are many theories out there on what death feels like, but no one can be certain which one is the right one. Yet, there is one thing we know, and that is that every death is felt to be an immense pain for the loss of a loved one. Every life is precious. We've come to the end of this video. If you have had a near-death experience to share, or any other comments, feel free to type in the comment box below. Don't forget to subscribe too. Thanks for watching.